Hey guys, alright, yet again, another replay analysis video. Probably going to be a lot of these. This time, we're focusing on Lion here, Anas, one or the other, I don't know, maybe a third, sorry. Um, but this guy's Ancient 7, aiming for Divine, saw him asking for help. Ancient 7 to Divine's hard because, unlike most ranks where it's like 100 to 200 MMR between like 6 and 7, from Ancient 7 to Divine, because a lot of people are going for that goal. I don't know quite how the algorithm works, but I think the MMR gap is like 6 to 800, something like that. So it's pretty hard to go from there, from Ancient 7 to Divine. You get a wide range of skills, even though everyone's Ancient 7. You could have someone from both sides of that MMR range, and you'll see, you know, you see a lot of shenanigans here because you got people tryharding, you got people smurfing, goofing off, people who have like only played one hero like up to this point, and then when they have to play someone else, they're like not nearly as good. So you get a lot of variety here, and it can be pretty tough to climb. And doing it as a support is especially hard. So I want to help out my fellow support players. Looking at this draft, getting started. Let's see. Probably a Broodmother mid for the enemy team. Sand King, Grimstroke off lane, Ember, and Shadow Demon safe lane. Pretty solid lineup. Ember Spirit is kind of a weird carry in general. Or not weird, uncommon. I know Miracle's doing it a lot in the tournament right now. But, in pubs, it's a little scarier to see because, these aren't Miracles playing it. But it works out this game, I feel, because you have a Broodmother. The downside of having Ember Spirit as a safe laner is that he's not very good at hitting towers, amongst other trade-offs. But Broodmother is very good at that, especially ratting towers. So their lineup kind of works. And they have a good amount of stuns with Sand King, Grimstroke. Good synergy overall, albeit a little unconventional. And I would also be scared because Broodmothers, a lot of people, a lot of Smurfs like to pick that hero. Or a lot of people who play that hero even not as a Smurf, they only pick it when they think it's a good game. I didn't see the draft. Maybe this guy first picked it. I don't know. That would be even scarier to me. But taking a look at your lineup, I think... Okay, looks like Legion safe lane. So I like that because I'm going to guess OD maybe picked mid and then saw Broodmother. Maybe you guys decided to swap around. I don't know. But OD versus Broodmother, not very good. He has some AoE now that they changed his Arcane Orb. But overall, Broodmother Spiderlings would kind of wreck him. And Legion and Axe, I would be okay with either going mid, honestly, because they both have ways to deal with it. They can both buy stout shields that he can't. And so with Legion mid, you have a decent mid matchup, I think. But your draft, like OD as a safe laner, again, same issue as Ember, isn't a tower hitter. And Legion is not really a tower hitter either. Not until she gets like a crazy amount of damage from all her duels, right? So, and Axe, the rest of you guys aren't really tower hitters. So your lineup is quite lacking in that regard. And so right now I would favor their draft a bit more than yours. So this is feeling like kind of a hard game. Not saying you can't win, right? Because Broodmother does drop off. So what the other team's looking to do, around 20 minutes, 30 minutes, they're trying to win by then. Depends how well Brood does in the early laning stage, but 20 30 minutes is kind of when Broodmother can start to drop off. So Broodmother does have a hard matchup against Legion. Maybe not hard, but it's not her ideal matchup. So it's good you guys are swapping around like that a bit. But she'll still have like a good period of time where she's really strong. She just farms faster than everyone else, because of spider webs and spiders. And they'll want to secure a spot to win really quickly. And you guys do not have that like early pushing power. You guys are looking to survive past that 30-minute mark, get to the point where Legion's duels are accumulating, where OD is like super scary, You're going to have to wear out their BKBs that they're going to get. So you guys are looking for a longer game where your chances will be better. You also want to like slow down their early game. I mean, that might sound obvious, but you don't want to get rolled over by Broodmother like really quickly, by an Ember Spirit who buys some early game items. I don't know what he's going to build, right? But if they do that, you either want to like stop that or like barely survive and like hold out till like you can get some LC duels towards the later game. And your heroes are all pretty good late game, honestly, and their team also pretty good, except for Broodmother, who tends to drop off. So this is looking like you guys need to get to the late game, and that's kind of your game plan as you're going forward into this game, thinking, okay, survive lanes, survive mid game, win late game. So saying that, looking at what you've bought, first, I wouldn't recommend a Clarity, especially not on Lion. Lion, because he has mana drain, generally is good on regenerating mana over time. Lion's mana issues are in the fact that all his spells later have pretty high cost, and by all his spells I mean like these two, not including mana drain, and then his ult, pretty high mana cost, especially as a support. You know, you're not picking up a lot of in items generally, so your issue isn't that you can't regenerate mana. Your issue is that, oh, I need to cast stun, hex, ult, oh, I don't have mana. You know, you need your like entire mana pool at once, and a Clarity doesn't help with that. A Mango does though, so if you wanted to get a Mango in this lane, I'd be okay with that. But you'll probably get mana drain level 2, and Earth Spike level 1's only 70 mana, so you know that's about like 5 casts, since you'll be regenerating some mana, maybe even 6 casts. So if you can't hit level 2 by the time you've cast Earth Spike 6 times, probably have some issues in the lane. So I think you're okay to survive to level 2 without this Clarity, and then you'll get mana drain and you'll be good on mana for the lane. Again, maybe a Mango is okay, because the Mango can hold its usefulness till later. You know, maybe you want to get an early point in Hex and you need to surprise them with the amount of mana or something. But since you're going to be against Sand King, actually, I think you want 2 sentries. What's going to happen is he's going to get his W, right? He's going to have invis. He's going to pop his W. You're going to use the sentry to scare him out of it. He's going to say, okay, they've placed a sentry. He's going to have his own sentry because he's a Sand King, and he knows he needs to do that. Once the lane is somewhere safe for him to do it, he's going to deward your sentry. And then you are not going to be able to have another sentry because you can't use the courier, or you're not supposed to, right? It's supposed to be for the mid laner. So you want to come to lane with 2 sentries if you can. And also, OD's your laning partner, right? What's he going to buy? I'm about to say you want to have 1 salve in your lane at least, between the 2 of you, if not both of you. He's not buying a salve. So, you need to have a salve then. One of you needs to have it. Because Grimstroke, Sand King, Grimstroke is going to use his E on Sand King. Sand King's going to stun one of you. They're both going to auto attack you. Both stuns are going to go off. And if you don't die, you'll be at like 100 health. You can't stand in lane with 100 health. You know, he'll stun you. Grimstroke will Q you, something like that. So you need a salve to be able to like quickly regenerate up past that combo and be able to then contest the lane again. And without that, they can like do that once, and then even if they don't kill you, you're just scared, right? You have to just sit around and tango for like a really long time, or just like hide, and at that point they've kind of like won the lane. So you want 1 salve to be able to quickly heal up and get back into the lane, whether it's you or the OD who needs it. So for this lane, I would recommend something like 2 sets of tangos. Assuming you bought the courier and 2 wards, I think you can afford 2 sentries and a salve. Maybe you can get your teammate to buy one of those sentries for you or something, and then you can buy a Mango, something like that. But I think that might be a little bit better for you. Okay, let's zoom forward a bit. Alright, you have a ward. I know this is fun and like memey, but you gotta get this ward down first. No, don't walk up. Don't walk up. This is scary. Because, like I said, shield, stun. It's really scary to go up there alone. you get his double stun, so that's kind of good. But I generally wouldn't risk that. They could probably have killed you there if Sand King was standing at this low ground instead of up there. They'd probably just kill you. But also, you've now revealed the fact that you have a ward down here. And let's see, are you gonna place it? Place it now. So they didn't see you place it, but they saw that you had one, and they're gonna know to like keep an eye out for it. And more than that, remember, our Sand King should have his own sentry, which I don't think I saw you check their inventories. Maybe I missed that. But if he knows you have a ward, you know, I mean, where are you gonna ward, right? This area, very common. This area, a little common. Somewhere here, you know. But there's a good bet he's going to want a sentry around here when he's dewarding your sentry, because your first sentry is probably going to be around here. Now that you've put this here, there's a good chance this gets dewarded if he places a sentry like somewhere around here. So I think a better spot would have probably been like somewhere up here. Because Sand King naturally pushes the lane a lot, you're probably not going to be like sentrying up here. Since he pushes the lane a lot, he'll probably play around this area a lot. So your sentry will be around here, and his counter sentry should then also be hopefully around here. Maybe he places a little higher up, but even if it's like up here, which is unlikely, I think it'll be down here, which may just reach this. Actually, it's a little far, but I don't know. He might place it here, but this is like less likely to be reached up here, and this would still let you to see them trying to pull and stuff like that. So I think in that case, up here would be better. Or honestly, giving that ward away. I might have given it to mid or something like that. Especially against, well, melee against Broodmother. I don't know. But like, bottom lane is going to be a sentry ward, or it should be. And so it's kind of like scary to have a ward down here. So I would kind of like either place it further up or like place it over here and do that instead of like hitting the drums here for like 10 seconds. You know, get the vision down as quickly as you can, spot out the lanes, see what they have, see if they're placing a ward down here. In fact, did they? They might have placed it. So let's go back. Oh, let me go down. Let's see if they placed a ward. Actually, you know, in hindsight, I could have just... Oh, you know what? I failed to do it, so... What am I doing? Okay, he didn't place a ward, coincidentally. But maybe they could have placed one. And if you place your ward first, you can see them come in and place it. Or you just like spot them placing their ward, like not even your ward, just like you standing there sees it. So it's better than just like standing back here hitting the drums, which I know is fun and like goofy, but if you're try-harding, you know, you got to get out and place your wards quickly. You got to stand in a position to spot them and then hit the drums there, you know. Oh, where are you? Back here? Why is this even possible? Okay. Wand. Yeah, it's okay. They're both going to cast a lot of spells. Yeah, it's okay. I'm okay with it. I don't know if you need to be standing here at the start, though. There's, like, no real reason to. In the fact that, like, you're alone. And if they used Inkswell plus stun and they saw you here for whatever reason, you probably die before you are able to get back. So I would like stay a little more conservative. Probably don't need to blind stun. I get what you're going for, but you probably can't see him past the trees after the stun lands. He whiffs it too, balances out. Double stun, that's pretty good. Yeah, so since you know this guy's here and you're a little low trying to heal up, I would try to like play on this side a bit more. Consider using one of your tangos to cut. Here, it's easier to see on cut this tree in particular because it lets you like run through here, which will be needed later. Or maybe even like one of these trees that lets you cut through. This tree in particular, I love cutting this tree. I think this one's really important to cut down with a tango, especially since this guy's not going to get a quelling blade to cut it for you. But yeah, this one. One of these if you want to attempt trying to like pull, but it's a little hard again without having someone quelling blade to cut down extra trees. But like play on this side because Grimstroke I think outranges you. Attack range 600, 550. Actually, you outrange him. But he's healthier right now, so you want to give yourself some time, like be on this side. He messes up. He shouldn't do that. I think he just missed an eye. Yeah, so right here, you guys want to coordinate attacking this range creep. Either say it in chat or like ping the creep. A lot of people will understand that. That you both attack it right there. This guy's like waiting to try to get it. He started Inkswell, so we can't use his Q. You don't necessarily know that. But if both of you attack this at the same time, you'll get it for sure. Deny range creep's really big. If it's not exactly true, but honestly, think about it as the range creep being like half the creep wave in a single creep. So if you deny this, consider it equivalent to like denying these 3 melee creeps. So the range creeps are really important. That's what you want to use your stun for, to emphasize getting the range creep or denying it. Like stunning them and then hitting the range creep, or stunning the range creep. I missed what happened to the first range creep on their side. But yeah, that's what you want to use your early spells for. I'll pay attention to it for the other range creeps. And yeah, see, he then like misses it to these guys hitting it. You know, that's not necessarily your fault, but it should have been denied a little bit sooner. Sand King wouldn't be in range or anything like that. So, yeah. And still playing this side is kind of weird because he sees you, right? And you can't see him. So, like, stand over here so he can't really hit you. He's winning these trades right now by keeping you low. And he can attack you whenever he wants, and you can't see him. So you want to force him to, like, not be able to play over here. If OD just stands over here and last hits, then this guy can't really reach him or do anything. And when you're over here, you can, like, hit the Sand King, who can't attack you back while you regen. And then when you're healthier a bit, then maybe you can trade with this guy. Okay, see the range creeps getting hit. What are you doing? Denying down here. Okay, you're going for it. That's good. Yeah, that's kind of hard because you get vision from the stun, but not a mana drain. So then it just like disappears right away. I would recommend like just walking up here, mana drain this guy. You know, he either has to walk away or stun you or something. You're pretty healthy now, so you should be good. And they're like split up. Inkswell level 1, really short range. So right now, if this guy stuns someone over here, he can't follow up. And similarly, this guy can't really do anything on his own. Level 1 Inkswell on his own. Over here, like, what's he do? This guy's way up here. And this isn't, like, good for you. Like I was saying, he's in the trees. It's hard for you. So, like, come over here. You play in the trees over here and hit this guy instead. You get this? Ah! Wow. Okay. I should be on player perspective. Stacking. That's good. He placed his sentry first. That's kind of bad. He shouldn't do that, but that's like to your advantage. This is a good time to pull. Let's see. I'm worried about this pull because he is sandstorming. He's going to kill these 2 creeps. These 3 are going to go under tower. But the next creep wave is coming up too. On your map, you can see they're at this tower, so on their side, they would be at this tower too. And that means that's about like 7 creeps that are about to dive under tower. So if you pull this wave, I'm worried that they might dive. Inkswell plus a stun with 7 creeps hitting, that could be an easy kill. Or even if it's not, you know, he's going to take a lot of creep aggro. So let's take a look. Last hits, he's at 8. So let's see how this goes. And let me go back to player perspective for you. Doing a pull. You missed one. That might work to your benefit. Okay, well, let me finish playing this out before saying anything. But what I want to say is that try to like peek over at your teammate here. You know, if this is you and the pull's going on, you want to like see it to get the last hits and stuff. But remember I was saying they might dive him. So you want to like peek over, see like, hey, you okay, buddy? You know, make sure you're getting in as much vision and information and not like seeing that they're going in on him too late. I don't feel like he contested the pull very well, so that one worked out for you. And OD took about 200 damage, but got 6 last hits. Worked out for you. I kind of feel like it shouldn't have. I think they should have contested you a little better. Or dove him or something. But I guess it worked out, so I won't say too much more on that end, I guess. Player perspective. Second pull. I don't know if you guys were communicating this or like you were just going for it. Same kind of worry. I'm just worried about them diving. Granted, this time they won't have like 7 creeps. They'll only have like the regular wave. But it's a little scary against Grimstroke and Sand King. If I was playing Grimstroke, that's what I would be going for. Okay, stun to get last hits. I like that. This is a little scary though. I was gonna say, well, let me play it out first. I think you thought you died, right? You stopped moving. The stun was really good to get a couple last hits, but also kind of scary being this far up and knowing that Sand King is here, Grimstroke is here. They can like combine in on you like that, and I've already talked about their combo, what they do, and that's what they did right there. Although he stunned first and then he just walked in afterwards, but he was close enough to do it, which is like essentially good enough. And so I would try to stay a little further back, either like stun from over here or like right after that stun, walk out, because just because these guys will kill you. It's really scary. And you essentially got the effects of the pull. Like they go to do that. You leech some XP from like back here and it's quite safe. This guy gets the last hits in her tower. And you don't have to like risk dying here, or actually dying. And then you stop moving because I think you thought you died. Maybe it was a misclick, something like that. Then you walked over here, which when he gets astraled, you've got like 4 seconds safe from him. And you know Grimstroke is going to go for the kill on you, right? You were so low. So what he's going to do, he was here, so all he can do is like come down here and hope that you walk this way and he'll get you, which is what happened. So I recommend next time, try walking down here to these tree lines. And you can either like eat one of these trees and go through here then, or like juke this way, I don't know, something, juke this way, eat a tree back here or something. But make him work for it, you know, not just like get the safe auto attack right here and then now he's going to get out. If you go this way further in, he has to like come in further. It lets OD like just hit him from the safety of tower and makes it a bit better of a trade for you guys. Maybe you live, maybe you don't, but it's it does more for you than just like walking here and getting hit by Grimstroke. But I think if they carried out their combo, they would have killed you up here anyways, so I don't know. What's OD got? 1,000? Make sure you ask your like teammates if they need you to bring anything. Okay, you got a sentry. I like that. That's good. But yeah, ask your teammates, do you need me to bring anything to you from base? Because the courier, especially as you go from Ancient 7, lots of people will use the courier at the start. As you transition to Divine, almost no one touches the courier for like 5 minutes. And even when I play with my friends in party MMR, even though they're a lot lower, like I'm not usually a mid player, but I'm like spamming the mid courier constantly, bringing like every item out. So you want to make sure you like ask your buddy, hey, do you need like in this case I think he's good on regen, maybe a salve if he wants to be safe, but you know, he has these 2 items, so maybe he finishes a null talisman. Anything, if he doesn't get anything, that's fine, you know, but ask him, say like, hey, do you need anything? And maybe you did, I don't know, I can't see your chat, right? But just throwing out there, I would recommend doing that a lot more. That's another thing that between Ancient players and Divine players, you know, not strictly 7 to 1, but let me finish my train of thought. Between Ancient and Divine, a lot more people ask in Divine, like, do you need anything from base, or let me refill your bottle, something like that. Small efficiencies that like build up over time, and so start working that into your habits will help you out. Yeah, I guess this is good. He has been sandstorming around here. This is like less likely to be dewarded over here. It doesn't cover as much, I feel like. I'm not sure. I could see on the replay that he placed a sentry here. I don't know if you checked him to see that he had a sentry that he placed. And because you're like pretty safe, like the tower's up here, I would be like interested in dewarding theirs. And And so I might place one here to spot for a sentry that I think they placed, maybe a ward that I missed, especially because I'm safe to get it. He's not going to contest. Like, if he was here and you placed it, he might eat it first or something like that, right? But because your lane's up here, it's very safe to deward this. So I might have placed my first one around this area. But not a big deal, I think. I think that's a fine spot. Stun to break clarity, not bad. Are you ground targeting? I'll try to check that next time. You probably know, but you can... Earth Spike goes a little further than what you can target. So, like, you might be able to target about here, but Earth Spike actually travels to, like, up here. So if someone's a little farther away than what you can target the ground, hit them. So that can be useful for canceling clarities and stuff like that. Or, like, super clutch plays where you're, like, just getting someone out of reach. Maybe you're doing it. I wasn't watching. I didn't notice. So yeah, Legion's winning mid, which is pretty good. Yeah, if you can get a stun, it's a kill. I think. Yeah, there you go. Nice. That's a good rotation. Brood messed up a bit. She shouldn't be that far, that low like that. Oh, this guy's in, huh? It looks like he's good. Alright, so right now this is decent for your team. Taking a look at last hits. This may not be the best indicator because a lot of those are spiders. So let's take a look at net worth. Axe doing well. Yeah, so you guys are in the lead. So this is pretty good. Broodmothers usually want to be like controlling the game, right? So this isn't a huge lead, but this is in the right direction for you guys. Runes are about to come up. Let me see. What are you looking at? You looking up here? Are you walking towards the rune? You are. Hope you make it. Rune. Yeah, you gotta stun him first. Oh, I hope he doesn't get to you guys. Oh, is he gonna get both? Okay, definitely the right idea to like try to slow him with the mana drain. But yeah. So this mistake gets them 2 bounty runes, right? So if you stun first, grab that rune, and then like start walking down. Position yourself down. Even if you like keep attacking him or like staying in range to like fight him with your team. That way if you like walk down here, let me look up. You like stun him when you see him here, grab the rune, and then walk like this way a bit. That way, if he runs this way, you can like chase and attack with your team and then go back and get it. If he walks this way, you can just like then follow up and go get him. But what happened there, right? He got it and he started walking down first, and he like you guys weren't able to keep up with him. So if you position yourself down here, then that way if you do see him make a break for the rune, then you can then just also run for the rune and you'll beat him to it. But in this case, you'll probably get the kill, but he's wasting a lot of time and he got 2 bounty runes. So not a huge mistake exactly, but like it's these like small mistakes add up. So losing 2 bounty runes is definitely a painful mistake. Player perspective. Mid again. That's a little awkward. It's not obvious where you are at this moment. When you were still in these trees, like they didn't know you were there yet, and then you kind of like walk out first and like reveal you were there. Miss the stun, which is like not as expensive as this and is lower cooldown. Then you follow up with a hex, but Nyx isn't in range. Neither's really Axe, so it's kind of a lot of mana used for like not that much gain. And yeah, you have mana drain, but you now have to dedicate a bit more time to like getting enough mana. Like, what if another fight breaks out right now? This is still on cooldown, you know? So try to be a little conservative with that. Make sure your team can actually follow up before the stun. I'm okay with you throwing that out, you know? Actually, I probably would have like kept staying hidden instead of like going for the stun. But if you want to go for the stun, a little bit of harass, that's fine. It's 100 mana. Then you just like mana drain him a bit. That's cool. Or like mana drain once you miss the stun and just like as he walks away, steal a bit of mana. I don't think you need to commit the hex though. I don't know if you need to eat that Iron Branch either. Like you might, a lot of supports are gonna go for the magic wand. I think just one tango, like a tango in normal tree, will get you to about like here-ish, you know, and then just like passive regen will get you the rest. I don't know if you need to like use the 50 gold iron branch on it. Save it up for your magic wand, you know? Oh, see? Literally. You still get the kill, right? But that's where your Hex was still on cooldown. If someone had rotated right away, he might have gotten away, you know? But if you had kept your Hex, you could get him before he gets under tower. You guys gonna save this guy? That's pretty crazy. Ooh, close. No mana. Works out. So you didn't have enough mana to use the Hex, right? You probably would have used it up here. Like, if you... So this is, like, the overarching, like, mistakes. Your one overcommitment the first time you went out. So you went out here and spent that 100 mana, right? And I was saying, oh, you'll probably be able to regen it. But actually, fight broke out, you teleported bottom, and you didn't have enough mana to use Hex. Which, granted, I'll admit, you know, this guy was here, and your cooldown on Hex was still going. This guy almost gets away, which maybe you would have hexed him there instead, you know, and then not have had it down here. But the way things worked out, you know, you come down here, you didn't have enough mana, and that is a direct result of using it up here when you didn't really need to. So cutting out these small mistakes, right, will net you like one more kill early game, that kind of thing, which you did get, but I think it was close. I didn't check his cooldowns, but you know, those kind of things. Seven minutes. You probably could have stacked one of these if you like sprinted straight there. Try to keep that kind of stuff in mind. Small stacks. I forget it too all the time, but you know, gonna throw it out there. Even though you guys don't. Well, Axe and Legion are okay at stacks. He's okay at stacks too, honestly. But oh, this is scary stuff, guys. Okay. Be really careful. I know you had Nyx with you in this case, right? But anytime you're against a Brood, whether she's like stomping or not, just like really ask yourself, do I need to walk on these webs? Because like you saw how many spiders were there, right? And it worked out that you could stun. And thanks that Nyx was there, he could stun. And you guys got some spider kills, which is cool. Probably about half of them. But like if it was just you, she kills you before Legion gets there, I think. Like that amount of spiders, plus she'll use Q on you, I think that kills you. And honestly, if Legion didn't walk down, I think she might have considered going on one of you anyways. She still had like a good amount of spiders. She can at least like get you guys down to half. Whenever you're against a Broodmother, be really careful about going on webs. And in this case, I think it's fine because he did have Nyx. But I am going to throw it out there. We're going to see if it happens like later in this replay. But you know, just be really careful about that kind of thing. That's how Broodmothers win the game. They farm ahead and then they pick off supports who are stepping on her web. Also, Legion, let's check what she's building. Halfway. Okay. Once Legion hits 6, whether she's an off lane or a mid laner, but maybe even more so when she's a mid laner, because remember you guys are like weird on tower hitting, right? So part of your win condition is that Legion gets a lot of duels, and off lane Legion, it's kind of okay if she doesn't get as many duels because she can use it to like lock someone down for like 5 seconds or something like that, you know. But as a mid Legion, you are very reliant on, like, even more so, you have to get the duels and you have to get the kills. So as soon as she's 6, you should be buying a smoke. Technically Nyx should do it as the 4, but it's kind of interchangeable, really. One of you wants to get a smoke, and you want to, like, as often as you can, get a duel with Legion. Start stacking up damage. It's only 10 at level 1, but like that's 10 damage you didn't have, and it builds up. You get the kills, you get the gold experience, all that. So it's like important to like, that's what you want to use your smokes for. At least in this lineup, get those kills with Legion, especially once you hit 6 too. I don't know if you're gonna do it or not. We'll see. But whenever your ult is up, Tell Legion, alright, let's smoke, let's get a kill. You duel someone, I'll finger. 10 damage, boom. Okay, that's a good teleport spot. You would die to up here. I don't know if they see you yet, so try to stay out of vision. You're gonna reveal yourself now, so now they know you're here. You did kind of need mana, but you want to kind of like hide your spot, hide yourself. They'll know you TP'd in there now. Legion duel? What? Did she not have it? She had it. It's a shame. I think that would have been a kill. This is pretty scary for you. Yeah. So Legion, or the Broodmother was down here, but being up here alone was like kind of scary. Even though Nyx came, like, she'll kill one of you. There's not much you guys can do. Deciding where to go. Or are you waiting for 10 minutes? I don't know if I like that. So I think you were waiting to get the tome at 10 minutes exactly, which I understand. Let me think about this. How close were you to 6? So it still would have taken you a while. But here's the thing. I think you respawned around like 9:30, something like that. And you've just like been here. In that time, you could have walked out to like one of these lanes, especially with Tranquil Boots. Like you could be in this mid fight right now if you had just like walked out. And you could have TP'd up here instead, stack something, get the runes. TP down here, stack, get the runes. And then just call the tome out after that. I feel like that would have been better. Yes, you want to hit 6 as quickly as possible with a tome, but stacking and getting the runes, I think, has a little more priority. And then the courier will bring it out to you. You know, you'll get it at like 10:30 if the courier's free right then. And that's not such a big deal, you know. So definitely, especially because it's 10 minutes, you want to get the runes. And you might as well stack too, if you can. So, yeah. Yeah, fight's kind of done here, even though you hit 6. Team's not going to go for it? Okay. It's a little scary. Yeah, you were getting a lot of stacks on you. You got to be careful of that guy.
I'll take your tribute.
Wards. Yeah. Oh, I saw Sand King and I was like, he's the offlaner. Why is he getting it? But that's the enemy team. I'm still thinking that, but at least it's not your problem, you know? Yeah, that's good. I like that. It's overkill, but at the same time, you get your what is this called? A stack of finger kills? I don't know, right? I'm okay with it. $50 gold you could have saved and you didn't need it earlier, you know, that kind of thing. That rune's there pretty late. That'll also happen less at Divine, so that's another thing to keep in mind. A lot of people, I forget sometimes, but the games I'm like winning and feeling really good about, I'm really on top of runes. You know, I'm calling it out at like 30 seconds before. I'm like, okay, runes, get in position. So that's something you can also work into your gameplay, is to you know, tell people, get ready for runes, get them as they spawn. Less and less likely you're going to find the runes still there that late. And those runes do add up, you know? It's kind of awkward. I mean, she can't really win duels on her own. I don't know if that's like anyone's fault, you know? I don't know. I can't see your team chats at all, right? In this case, I think she was moving in, and I don't know what you were doing, but I don't think you saw that she was going in until like you heard the duel and then looked up. try to like stay near her whenever she is duel up, because even though you can only like stun and like auto attack, she can't do it alone, and she needs like someone to help her add in a bit more damage. And if you're there to like stun and hex, then she can auto attack a bit more before then dueling, and make it a little more likely to get it. And that's kind of that's your objective right now. OD still needs to farm up. Right now your strong people are Axe and LC, and you want to play with them. So you're in the back with Nyx there because you're scared, which rightfully you should be a little bit. But if LC is going to be that far up, try to like also walk up near. Let's take stock of the game real quick, actually. This guy's got Midas. He had a bit of a rough lane, a little bit. So, well, this is kind of common anyways, even in good lanes. So, it works because you're going for the late game, so that's okay. This guy's got his blink. This is kind of weird. Against a Broodmother, I think Crimson Guard first is better. I guess Ember does have a lot of magic, so does Shadow Demon, and that was his lane, so I guess that works out. But hopefully next, I would say he wants a Crimson. And this is the kind of thing you can like call out. You know, you can be like, hey, work on a Crimson before Pipe maybe. It'll be really good against like Brood, Sleight of Fist. Sand King's in here too, so like they do have a lot of magic. He'll want a Pipe eventually, but like as to which is first, I think Broodmother is at her, like she's looking to do stuff right now, and a Crimson Guard will cancel that a lot. LC has her blink, so you want to play with her. This guy's fine. You're fine. It's okay. Okay. It's kind of poor. I feel like they were doing better in the off lane. He should have a little more, I think. Orb of Venom's weird. I don't know about that. This is also, well, more understandable of him. I think he was having a tough time in the top lane. And Sand King took the tome. Like, this guy's at 5. That sucks. That's why you can't do that as an offlaner. This guy's ult is pretty good. So Broodmother, poorer than she should be. She should already be like winding down to Diffusal or something. So she is behind, and that's good. 1 and 3, you know? You guys are higher level, so you guys are like in a good spot right now. So I know you said you lost this game. So at this moment, you guys are good. And I would be saying, alright guys, let's keep this up. Try to get some more like LC duels, some pickoffs with Axe. You know where Broodmother's always going to be, right? She's always going to be in these webs around here, and people have been playing with her. So just keep going for that. And let OD farm up a bit more. He can't really fight yet with Midas. He needs another item at least, if not more. And that's kind of okay. If you keep stacking LC duels, remember, your plan was for the late game anyways. And right now, you've successfully slowed down their early game. So you're just kind of like, maintain that. So, feeling good right now at this point of the game. D-Ward, nice. Miscommunication there. Both proc sentries. Happens. I was playing a little fast there. Let me see. Oh, some replay bug stuff here, but I'm thinking. Right now I kind of feel like, you see how he killed him as your stun was coming out? I don't know if you would have made it though. Because I would be like spamming Hex. Like, spamming it as fast as I can to try to like catch him as he spawned. But it's like short range. I don't know if you would have made it anyways. Maybe? Oh, it's close. It's really close. I don't think you would have, but possibly. But keep that in mind in the future. Maybe you knew. It would have been a little short. Tough call. Although, you might have been able to get it from ground targeting up there. But anyways, I'll forget about it for now, right? You're kind of dead here. Nothing you can do much. It's kind of awkward, though.
Double kill.
Let's look at that again. One more time. Just kidding, one more time. Alright, so you guys just killed Ember. OD died. You're in a decent spot. This guy's a little low. LC's coming bot. Broodmother's mid. I don't know if this blind stun is... You can't see him. I think you probably stun these guys instead. You're dead now. Not like... I don't think you could get away anyways, but I don't know if you need to walk up. I would just like try to walk down and hope that you can just get out of this sandstorm with the leash duration, which I think maybe you would have been able to. Sand King wrecked you guys this fight though. That was a 3v4. You guys need to have detection, which I know you sometimes just run out. But throw that out to your team. Just be like, I don't really have detection right now, guys, even if we catch Sand King, so.
An afternoon restorative.
You want to have Dust. I would buy Dust right now. I would buy Dust, and then you also have one extra slot. Even if you get these, like, they'll combine into one item. So, let's see. Maybe a Bracer. Give you some magic resist. They're all pretty. They all have some like magic damage, and it'll give you a bit more health, a bit more mana pool. That's quite nice. Not so useful this game. You want mana pool more than you want regen. Maybe a Windlace. Wouldn't be bad. Yeah, maybe a Windlace or a casual Bracer just to like fill up the extra slot. And then the Dust. And then get your... Actually, is this the best right now? Let me see. I don't know if that's what you want. Broodmother running you down will just... she has the slots for Dust. And... Ember does a lot of magic, so does Sand King, so does Grimstrokes, to an extent, so does, what's his name? I don't know, I guess you can Glimmer whoever gets Grimstroke ulted, but, like, you already have troubles with your mana pool, and so you really want to make sure that, like, if you're going to get a Glimmer, you really need the Glimmer, because it has a mana cost as well to use. I think it's like 100, might be 50. I don't have these memorized. 90. Okay, but you know, seems small, but again, like 200, 125, 160. When you get here, 420, you know, and your mana pool is not going to change that much. If you get levels in this, you know, 150, 175, 200. If this is max level, boom, 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 no mana. You use Glimmer once, you can't do your combo. So you want to make sure you really need to have a Glimmer like right now if you're going to get it, because it's already straining your already small mana pool. So in that case, that's where a casual Bracer will help, you know, give you just a little bit more. And also, maybe instead of a Glimmer, just tough call, tough call. Force Staff is okay, because it gives you mana, helps you get away, like when you're being chased, helps your teammates, you can Force Staff them, but doesn't break leash. Blink is good on Lion in general, but you have a lot of Blink initiators already, so As a position 5, hard to get there. Never hurts to have more blinks, really. But I'm okay with you not doing it because these guys have blinks. Nick is an initiator, you know, you don't need to be the blinker. I like Ghost Scepter a bit. I know I just said they have a bunch of magic damage, right? But this will prevent you from getting killed by Broodmother. And if this does go like ultra late, you could get an E-Blade, right? Aether's okay, lots of mana for you. Aether might be good. It's not utility strictly, but because you're not the blink initiator, those guys are. The increased range, cast range, will help you stay further back, cast, and then, you know, get out. Lets you have more mana for your combo, so I kind of like that too. It's a tough call, this game. I think I would do Force Staff. Let's speed up a bit. I kind of want to get to the point where you guys lose. Because right now you're in a good spot.
Killing spree.
I don't know if you guys need to go for that kill, but those kind of things happen. It's not game losing on its own. I don't think your team is going to defend this. Yeah, get out. You TP'd in, so like hiding in the trees, you can't like TP out once it looks lost. I would just like walk out while you can, which you do.
If you're looking for Radiant's bottom tower.
30 seconds on your ult. I would be buying up a smoke, getting ready. You're stacking the stuns a bit. He still had more time on being stunned before you had to hex. Go ahead and wait. Did you see how much he survived by, actually? In that time you overlapped, you both would have been able to auto attack again one more time. I think you win that duel. So that kind of stuff. Honestly, you can even let him get out of stun for like a very brief moment because it takes him a while to cast Disruption. So you can let that stun fade and get yourself like an extra fraction of a second. In this case, because Disruption has a small cast time. But if you don't want to do that, that's fine. But don't overlap as much as you did if you can. She also should have used Q first before dueling, and she probably would have gotten the kill.
Is Radiant's bottom tower this one?
I'm not sure why you sentry'd here.
Don't look too scared of Radiant's
Maybe because he was
top tower.
sandstorming, but
For my
this is like very unlikely to get any wards there, so I don't.
Here, Radiant's top tower.
If you were gonna check up here, put the ward like put the sentry more like there, but maybe it was just in reaction of him sandstorming. But I don't think your team was going for it. So, remember what I said earlier about walking through? Not like you could react, right? You don't. But this kind of thing, if like you walking through these Broodmother webs with no teammates around that time, if Broodmother happens to be there, you're dead. You know. Try to not ever walk through her webs. It's a bit defensive. I don't know if you need this here. You already have the tower up here, and like your tower is still here. They're not necessarily like pushing at this moment. I think putting it a bit like around here would be a little better, a bit more aggressive. Your team wants to get pickoffs, especially LC. You got Axe with a blink too. Putting it up here lets you see someone's farming alone on their side. So yeah. Is this real? What's happening here? It's kind of bizarre. Works out for you guys though. Good finger. You can pick up both of these at the side shop. So you know, buy those there instead of now not having them, needing a courier. Speed up a bit. This video is already going to be super long. Yeah. This is awkward. Don't go in now. Not like you can control Legion, but Yeah, you guys don't want to... You can't see it. I have a face of confusion right now when I saw that blink call. You guys don't want to walk in like that because you saw them pushing up, and you also know none of your cores are nearby. You know this guy's got a blink. You know Broodmother can drop a web and just run at you guys. Grimstroke ult, Ember can just dive in, change you guys. So the fact that it's two of you alone without even any creeps makes it easier to chain, easier to leash, like all this stuff. So you probably want to walk this way on the minimap. Just like this way right there. It's just like too dangerous going this way. I know you're at your tower, and that always gives this idea of like safety, but as demonstrated, they have the power to dive you guys. So you want to walk this way. And then LC and Axe should not go in. You don't control that, but I have no idea what they're doing. That was weird. She just like walked in through 4 and lived somehow. Well, they did like use everything on you guys, but then there's like no reason for her to go in. It's kind of weird. Blade Mail. I guess that's good too, but I really would have liked Crimson Guard from him. Let's look at you. Okay, you're getting ready for the tome, which means you know 20 minutes coming up, so I hope you also are keeping in mind that means runes are coming up. Should be buying a smoke. 2 in stock. Get that smoke. Smoke for those runes. Get that LC duel. Put the sentry first. If you ever plan on putting a ward and a sentry on a high ground spot like this, put the sentry first, see if they have anything up there, and then maybe you'll change your mind. Maybe you'll decide, okay, now they know I'll have a ward up here. I don't want to put a ward up here anymore. Theirs was an observer, or a sentry, so they didn't see that you had a ward down, but they at least know you just put something up there. So now they're going to get it. Now, having just said that, if you do plan on placing a ward on the high ground no matter what, and you place it there, and then you decide, oh, I should have sentryed it to double check, don't put the sentry up here. Put it on the ground, because these things don't tend to cover... I'm unable to click the sentry. There we go. I don't think I can show the range anyways, though, on this. But it covers about here, which isn't the worst, but, like, what if they place a ward over here, right, instead of up here? If you put your sentry like somewhere here, it covers this high ground and lets you get like more useful area. If the ward is not up here, no one is placing it like around here, you know? They're putting it like just outside of this hill because they know, oh, if someone puts the sentry up there, I don't want my ward to be spotted. So if you're going to put the ward up there and already get the high ground vision, put the sentry like down here. Maybe they have a ward there. I probably wouldn't guess that either, you know. Well, actually, maybe put the sentry over here. This is like an okay spot to check, but more than likely, I would put it like somewhere around here because this is a pretty common warding spot. And yeah. Speed up. You're placing these to check for stuff, but you have to have one for Sand King when a team fight breaks out, either Dust or a Sentry. So if that's your last one, you have to be having like more ferried in, or you got to check your teammate. Does he have one? He's got some, but you need to hold on to one too as a support. You need to be making sure you can spot him in team fights. You guys just gotta pick. Someone should be like up here, because you're like in control of this area, but you guys were all here and someone could just like walk in and walk out in that time, even though that should be like for sure your rune. Also, if you have finger, you know, smoke up with LC, look for another duel.
Dominating, I guess.
is okay. You guys are not good at Roshan. That's another thing. They're not the best at it either. Maybe a little better than you guys.
Radiant's bottom tower is about
This is scary. You're like dewarding alone against like how mobile these guys are. Sometimes that happens as support, but I'd be scared, you know. It leads to pickoffs a lot more. Try to have like someone at least with you. Let's slow this down. Make sure we catch the team fight. Up and finger. See, you guys don't have detection for him. Did Nyx use his? He's got it. He's not placing it. But this should also be your job too. It's not just Nyx's fault. Now he places it, but you've kind of missed your chance. Broodmother's here now. Whoa, how did that miss you? That's crazy. You probably want to cancel that drain a little sooner and stun and walk out. I don't know if it would have saved Axe, but
Double kill.
standing there draining him, you know, you're
Dire's
waiting to
top tower
die.
has some radiant-shaped problems.
You're looking around, which is good. Try to click them too and check their items. See what they have. Especially the supports. Spot wards, that kind of thing.
Jex thinks Radiant's bottom tower is about to fall. So he's wrong. Radiant's bottom tower is under attack.
Awkward.
Want their middle tower to fall? Radiant's middle tower is under
I was just watching. Nothing to comment. Seemed okay. Speed along.
structures are fortified. Dire's bottom tower is under attack.
What's LC at? 38 damage. I swear I saw her win more duels. This is kind of low. Part of this, we did see them miss. You two missed that Shadow Demon kill, some other stuff. Not smoking with her, that kind of thing. So it's not just her. It kind of is, because as the LC player, she should make these calls of like, hey guys, come smoke with me, that kind of thing. But also recognize you have an LC on your team. I'll see you hexed again a bit too soon. But it's also part of your job to like enable the LC, buy the smokes, buy the detection, make sure no one can get out of a duel. You know, if you see him coming into save, stun him, that kind of thing. And try not to overlap your hex with your stun. Hex is instant, you know. With stun, it's a little harder. You know, if you hexed first and then like trying to time the stun to hit them as it ends, that time overlap is a bit okay. But if they're stunned and you're hexing after, hex is instant. So just like wait till it's right at the end. You can practice in a like a demo lobby really easily. Just stun someone and just like practice pressing W as it gets like really close to the end. Maybe you're walking away, that kind of thing. Practice like blinking in and hexing, that kind of sort of thing if you need to. But it's probably something you can work in with just like a bit more mindfulness of like don't overlap stuns. And not something you need to practice really too much.
Look at Dire's bottom tower next.
Yeah, so you got two open slots. There's itemization as a support is not only being gold efficient, it's being slot efficient. You guys are getting like picked off a bit in like some weird spots, and you shouldn't be. You guys are like
Double kill.
the pick-offs, and they should be like the team fight, like just push as a group. And it's all been around, like a lot of it has been around here, around Broodmother's webs, and that's why like I want to emphasize like that is where you should be scared. Play where she's not, you know. Have one person clear out the spiders when it gets close to an objective, and then play where she's not, because it's always going to be like a 4v5 or a 4v4. And if you're picking someone off with LC right away, it's a 4v3. And then Broodmother is going to do what? Is she going to TP in and then place a bunch of webs and run at you guys? Sure, if she does that, guess what? She just got rid of a bunch of her webs in mid lane. And if she doesn't come in, guess what? 4v3, you know? That's how you have to play around Broodmother. Instead, you guys are like constantly in this mid lane getting killed around. And she's like alone while you guys are dewarding. He's getting killed. It's just like really awkward.
If you were a millennial, I'd say wicked sick.
Radiant's bottom tower is under attack. Radiant's bottom tower has fallen. Dire's top tower has some radiant-shaped problems.
I know you've been saving money to get this Glimmer.
Tower is under attack.
I kind of feel like you still need to buy the dust and the sentry first.
Tower has fallen.
Just because like those are what will let people get kills. Those will let your teammate get these pickoffs to win. And a Glimmer won't change too much if they're carrying dust, you know? Is he gonna get it? No. Close. Oh no, you're so low. Run away, run away. Oh man, you're pushing it there. That's scary. They have so many long range things. Against Ember Grimstroke, try to like walk out a bit. But then again, trading your life for a core kill would be okay, so. But man, is that scary. A lot of these wards I see you place are also very like typical, which isn't bad sometimes, but you want to throw in some variety. Like you guys have been like trading this ward spot the whole game. You know, you're just like throwing money at each other. Mix it up a bit. Put a ward like instead of this high ground. Hold on. Instead of this high ground, you know, put it like over here. You spot similar things, and this is a little less likely to be dewarded. Because guess what? If they place a sentry here, it doesn't reach here. And you get like vision of this. It's less vision because like this covers a lot more, but it's less likely to be dewarded, and it's a little more up front. This is a little more useful, honestly, when defending this than maybe this is, because you can still see when people walk in here, and you don't need to know that they're standing like here specifically. If you're trying to be defensive, you can just see they walked in and just know, okay, just like stand on this side. So try to place a little more less typical wards. Like this is very common. This is a good ward. I've used this a lot too, but like all of these are like very standard and are going to be easily dewarded, or like if they happen to check, they're going to get it. You know, weird spots like here, this is less likely to be spotted than say like, I don't know, here or like somewhere around here. These are like very common spots. They're common because they're like good and they give good vision, but try like moving it over here, you know, it's a little less likely, that kind of thing. Just a bit of diversity. You can have like some common ones with some weird ones, and once they deward a spot, don't put it there again, or like only if you really need to. Like once they've dewarded this repeatedly, don't bother putting it there again. You don't really need it. Put it a little further. Put it somewhere different. Yeah, get the runes. Don't try to help that guy because he was dead. Yeah, I can kind of see how you guys are losing this. You had the lead, and then you guys were just like not continuing to get pickoffs. And see, like even into this late game, you still have an open slot. This could be a bracer. This could be a lot of things. And it would be okay because they all give you something, whereas an empty slot does not. Although dust, it should be dust. But you know, if it's not dust, then it should be something. And you can even backpack the bracer and then like put it in when you run out of dust until you get more dust. Yeah, don't have any detection for him, that kind of thing. Like all of these are really awkward now. Your team is just like going in one at a time when they see it and not like as a team effort. And the game's kind of over at this point. I should have taken stock again, like somewhere in the middle, but like at this point, you haven't lost. Okay, let me rephrase that. Until you lose racks, you haven't lost the game, right? One of my mottos is like, if someone's like tilting and they're like, they just want to give up, I'll be like, hey, can we at least play till we lose a racks, you know? Because people throw on high ground a lot. And you guys with Axe especially is like pretty good at high ground. Nyx, Lion, decent range. You stand on the back line and let them come in. You stun them. Let Axe get a good call. And so that's kind of what you guys have to do. But you guys are like dying out here at T2 instead. And a lot of people say like, oh, you have these like dumb teammates. It's not my fault. And in a sense, it's not your fault. You know, they choose to go out there. But what you can do to like counter that is to be the guy who says, just defend high ground, give up that tower. Making those kind of calls it'll help you climb a lot. I find I win a lot more games when I talk a bit more in my games than just sitting quietly watching people make mistakes. Sometimes you like tunnel vision. It doesn't mean someone's a bad player, you know, but having someone else to like call in a bit more, like focus, like pull them back in, that's important. And you guys are in a tough spot now because like this guy's dead so long, this guy's dead. He could buy back, sure, but then what are the four of you gonna do? OD hasn't had a lot of impact this game. You guys just never like started like being together, I guess. You were winning, and then it was just like awkward pickoffs a lot. It didn't seem coordinated. It didn't seem smoked. And now these guys are like on top of it. They're like, they understand what they need to do now, and they are doing it. And you guys are still like a bit scattered. It's a good sentry. You can place another one over here if you want, once that tower falls. It's like not much you guys can do now. It's really hard. Sand King wrecked you guys. He's MVP in my books. He had like several kills where like he like got double kill when it was 3v4 over here, you know? And a lot of that is you didn't have enough detection. Not just you know, Axe and LC. Initiator should have detection too, but you definitely should have it too. And he got away with like too much this game. Yeah, and they're just like ahead of you. It's really hard to hold now. I'm kind of just zooming through all this because like everything I pointed out early will help you like avoid this kind of situation late, so there's not as much to say at this point. And this video is also already super long. I was like, oh, a 35-minute game, it'll be fast, and then I, you know, managed to talk all the way through it. Which, I mean, it kind of, I don't know, this is not a struggle with my videos. They feel long, but I also feel like that's kind of what you need to, I feel like I need to talk about all these different things, and then they end up super long. And then I regret that they're so long. I'll learn one day. Okay, so some takeaways. Let's get to the stat page. So pretty much if I had to give a takeaway for you this game, was a double sentry start against Sand King. Instead of starting Clarity, try out like a Mango. That's kind of the laning phase. Be a little more conservative. The pulls were okay, but like be a little more mindful of your spacing between when you're against like a Sand King Grimstroke. And then play a bit more with your LC, especially since she's mid. Even when she's off lane, I try to play with LCs a lot. You know, you just want them to like, you want them to get to the point where they can solo duel, and they can't do that without help. And so you want to help them. Buy smokes, place aggressive wards, smoke. When you smoke to get the pickoffs, place the aggressive wards. And then you can smoke again when you see someone in those aggressive wards or de-warding those wards. And kind of not playing around LC, not having enough detection for Sand King led you to some like awkward fights. And that part's not necessarily your fault. The team was a little disorganized, but that's something you can work on, is like calling the team together and trying to organize like ganks, that kind of thing, and that can help you improve your chances at winning. And then after that, there wasn't like too much you could do. The Broodmother got back into the game, and just like everyone else was also free. Sand King was free, and so once you like missed that timing window, like you started off early, you guys should have won, I think, based on that early start, but you didn't play around each other and kind of like gave up these awkward skirmishes, and that's what led it back to them, and then they closed it out like they should have. So I think you played pretty well overall. But just a couple of those like small itemization choices, some positioning, and try to mix up the ward spots too. And yeah, I think that's everything. I didn't really look at any stats. I was like focused on what I was saying. But there's not too many stats to look at here. Like, yeah, see, she didn't win that many duels. That kind of matches what I said. You've got 4 finger stacks, which is like okay. 35-minute game. Mostly level 1 ult, eventually level 2. I think you could have a few more. You know, if you smoke every time it's up with LC, LC would have a couple more duels. You would have a couple more stacks of finger. That would help you out. Let's take a look at these. It's about like they bought more than, or you bought more than them combined, but like you guys just kept putting them in the same spots. So then I don't know, it like it was just like a throw back and forth, and because they felt like you guys should have been the ones in control more since you have like the pig off players, but you guys tried to play a lot in like the same Broodmother areas, and that's where they have control. And then when you put wards in other spots, they were like always in the same spot. So after a fight, they always deward the same thing. And then you guys go in, you deward, and so it doesn't feel like that vision is helpful in getting pickoffs because they know the vision is there, and so they know to be safe in that area. That's about it. I didn't really pay attention to your skill build too much. I think this is okay. Maybe keep it at like 2-3 levels of mana drain. I think getting the cooldown on Hex can be really useful, but it's like okay. Alright, yeah, this is long enough, so I'll stop it here. Hope that helped. Hope it wasn't too rambly. It was, but, you know, hopefully it was helpful. And that's all. Good luck out there.